Yo, Thralls of Metal, coming at you with an album review. My name is Rin.
Necrotic.
Jammin.
And we have Extinction A.D, Ruthless Intent.
Yet another EP on this EP-filled weekend. This comes out also on the 12th of January on Unique Leader Records. This band formed in 2013. Where are they from, Rin?
Long Island, New York, right near the deli. It's by the deli in the bar, you'll see it.
You know the one. You know the one. Anyway, this is their 5th EP overall. We actually went over their last full-length, Culture of Violence, and this is kind of a hybrid between thrash and hardcore. Features members of This Is Hell, which is another Long Island hardcore slash thrash band too.
Long Island.
Very similar, and yeah, we're really looking forward to this one because this band is just explosive, riffy, and they definitely pack, you know, a lot of the cool dynamics of both styles, both crossover thrash and hardcore.
And they do that really well with the opening track, Prodigal Scum. Clear production, but everything sounds crisp and crunchy and punchy at the same time.
Crunchy punch.
There's not really a thing I would change about the production, to be honest. Everything comes through the way it should. Prodigal Scum starts out with tribal drums, bass, ambient melody, and then immediately a hardcore stomp groove. Like, from right then, you're off to the races.
This band knows how to lead in stuff. Like, they are great about building tension. This starts with a drum fade in. Like, you hear the double kick going, the toms going, the bass kind of come up behind that, and then you just get slammed in the face with riffs, and it's kind of right into this nice mid-tempo hardcore groove, and then explodes into like thrashy blasts, and yeah, you're pretty much just off to the races.
And a big goddamn chorus. Yeah, and the vocals in the second verse in this song, he does a nice little spitting rapid fire cadence, and I want a little bit more of that.
Honestly, I mean, you brought up Billy Graziati when we were listening to this. Like, yeah, I definitely hear that. I also hear a lot of Lou from Sick of It All.
Hey, Lou.
Maybe a little bit of prong, especially in the riff work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pinch harmonics, you know,
Tommy Victor.
You know, and the groove. The groove is 100% there. It's, again, kind of that prong, kind of halfway in the hardcore camp, halfway in the thrash camp. And yeah, the song just comes in stomping. And what I like is, this is only a 4-song EP, but I feel like there's really like 2 sides to it. The first 2 tracks really seem to embody more of their hardcore side.
Cool.
I mean, Under the Hood is just a beast of a song. Nasty riffs left and right, very groove-laden, very aggressive, and the breakdowns will change over the course of this EP. Like, you know, the first couple, on the first 2 songs, you get a lot of that classic single kick, you know, old school hardcore breakdown. Like, instead of like doing a lot of syncopation, they kind of just fill it in with like floor toms and just chug your face off.
That's the way it should be done, to be honest. At least with an old school hardcore flair, is just a simple meat and potatoes punch to the face. And they did it really well. Under the Hood has one of my favorite breakdowns, to be honest.
It's a track on my compilation album. Now that's what I call Breakdown Volume 1.
Out in stores soon. Buy it.
It's a we'll have a commercial.
Yeah, there'll be an infomercial on at 2 a.m. tonight on some public access channel that you're not watching right now.
The lead work on all of this record, albeit there's only 4 songs, it's all very tasty. They're not real lengthy by any means, but very shreddy. A lot of times you get like harmony tags on the end of things. They play off of each other really nicely.
A lot of the riffs too, like they bring in a lot of that hardcore chug, but they'll throw like a little bit of a metal tag at the end. Again, like a little harmony. The first 2 songs, that the leads really reminded me of Bobby Hamble, and you know, that's pretty awesome. I've always liked his like kind of bluesy licks with that heavy wah, but he also gets occasionally a bit shreddy. But it's the last 2 tracks that really stood out to me because these are the ones that just seem to get a lot more thrashy. Like, there's more crossover elements, a lot of stuff you can compare to like Enforced. Living to Desecrate in particular, you know, it kicks off in very much hardcore fashion, but kind of just out of nowhere, they isolate a guitar and boom, you just start hearing the machine gun riffs coming, and it just goes off in this awesome thrashy bridge. Like, honestly, it's one of my favorite moments in this entire EP. And the leads even kind of change a little bit here. When they start embracing a little bit more of the metal side, you start hearing like way more metallic leads. Like, these get like shreddy, like fast, very melodic, like stuff you would associate with, you know, just like classic thrash acts like, you know, Overkill and Exodus and stuff like that.
Dive Bombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of these riffs remind me of the metallic hardcore of the early 90s, your Sick of It Alls, your Mad Balls, your Propanes. His vocals I do like in Morality Bait. He gets a little bit of deeper in his register. Not quite a death growl, but yeah, less hardcore sing-songy. The hardcore / punk sing-songy stuff is a little strange, but it works because he doesn't overdo it, which that's what makes it cool. If he did it all the time, it'd be like,
yeah. Most of this has like kind of a straight up like hardcore delivery.
Shout.
Yeah. It's gruff, it's aggressive, it matches the music, again, especially on these last 2 tracks. Like, I feel like he just gets more aggressive as this album goes on.
He's getting madder and madder.
Yeah, and I mean, it's working. It matches the intensity of music, which I feel like it keeps getting more revved up because, you know, Morality Bait has like one of the nastiest riffs on this entire EP. It's
gross.
That nasty groove that comes in and the nasty, more metallic breakdowns. Like, this is where you start hearing that more like metalcore style breakdown where it's more syncopated to the riff versus like the single kick ones. It's really interesting because you kind of hear this band push more towards like metal with like each song, but it still has a cool blend throughout. Now, vocally, I like this for the most part. There are a few moments on here where it just doesn't sit with me well, namely on Under the Hood. There's a part on there where the cleaner vocals come in and it kind of sounds auto-tuned, and it really doesn't match up with the vibe of that song, which the vibe of that song is, I'm going to throw this chair. And, you know, that one just feels too, I don't know, like, you know, pushing for a hook that maybe isn't there, or it's the wrong kind of hook.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't really match up.
So he's throwing a plastic chair instead of a wooden chair.
Yeah, man, those plastic chairs will hurt, but they break pretty easy.
Yeah.
You gotta get classic. Get a wooden chair or a steel chair.
Ooh, a steel chair.
Not the gimmicked wrestling ones, a real.
They make a totally different sound when you club someone over the head with it.
Doesn't sound as cool, but they're unconscious.
That's the important part. And I suppose the only other complaint I can make is it's short. It's about 16 minutes, but honestly, it leaves you wanting more, so that's a sign of a good EP. And EPs are always kind of interesting in terms of, all right, is this like an isolated thing? We're just doing this as like a one-off thing to experiment with some sounds, or is this going to be what, you know, the full length that follows sounds like, if there is a full length? So I don't know. I mean, overall, I dig it though. I think it's pretty solid, and I'm going to go ahead and give it 3.5 stars. This has got a great balance of hardcore punch and great thrash metal riffs. I think the lead play really shines on here. In fact, that was one thing I noticed right away, that, man, the lead play I think is even more exceptional on here. It's got great grooves, awesome breakdowns. I like the fact that, again, you have a lot of classic single kick ones and then the more syncopated metal ones. This band is really good about blending their styles, and I really, really like the way they lead in stuff like breakdowns. They lead it in like they're already set up for that live show. Like, all right, this is the moment where we kind of start shit and make the venue owners go, God damn it, why'd we book them? But yeah, this is a pretty banging EP. Check it out.
These guys pretty much check all the boxes I'm looking for. Great dynamics, great mixture of tempos, shouty vocals, ripping leads, killer riffs, stomping drums. I'll go 4. This is a tremendous EP. I don't know if, like he said, if this is part of an album that's going to come out or this is a one-off, but I like the way things are headed. I've dug all of the things these guys have done before. All their EPs are killer, all their albums are killer. Grab this album and shove it in your face.
I'm also at a 4. I really dug this record. This is like the 10th time today I've listened to it, to be honest.
Yeah,
packed full of groove and riffs and awesome lead work. I really like how tasty and shreddy those leads are for a hardcore band. Like, you don't normally hear leads executed like that in like a classic heavy metal style sometimes for a hardcore band. So that was really cool. But I mean, every song pounds. The breakdowns are amazing, and they do again a really good job of building it up. Like, if you go see them live, you know, at least you have a little bit of warning before you lose your teeth.
Yes, I got you that way.
That's coming.
Yeah,
you know, right. I will vacate towards the back of the crowd like I normally do because I'm old, and that's what happens. This album's very aggressive. My only complaint is, again, that it's only 4 songs.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted more out of this, and that is indeed a sign of what a good EP should be. But yeah, great songs. I don't have any complaints about production. I just wish there were more of them. So 4 stars. Check it out.
So, if you guys enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We are also on Patreon. If you'd like to help us out there, there's a link down below to thrallsmetal.com. Our Patreon is there. It is also on our channel, but thrallsmetal.com is where you go to get Thralls Metal stuff. We have new shirts. We have old shirts. We even have hats. So if you're looking for any of that stuff, click the link down below.
Tons of stuff going on at Thralls of Metal, as always, because what else would we do with our time? Got the Black Dahlia Murder ranking coming, got Meshuggah after that, the return of What's John Jamming is happening, and tons and tons and tons of reviews, because we're only in the second week of January. The reason we keep doing this, though, is because of you guys. Thank you all for being a part of our lives and of this channel, and for continuing to tune in and listen to us banter back and forth. Life would kind of suck without Thralls of Metal at this point. I'm happy to have it here, and we're happy to have all of you here.
Yeah, you guys rule. It's been a ton of fun, and so far this year is already starting out pretty well as far as releases. And again, we have a whole bunch of other stuff we're working on, so definitely stay tuned. So one more big thank you, because you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
And we will catch you later.